back to the South Main Auto Channel. Got this 97 Subaru Legacy Outback wagon here. It's got the big 2.5 in it. She's the twin cam model, and it has a leaking water pump, so we're gonna have a look at that and see what it takes to fix it. So we'll get rolling on this beast. They're not too awful bad to do. I'm gonna take and pull these covers off, pull the belts off. We gotta zip the fans off, which isn't gonna be too big a deal on this one because I just put a radiator in it not too long ago, so these fans should come off pretty easy. Here in New York, usually you get these older Subarus with these metal upper and lower radiator supports where the fans go into them. It's usually a mess. You know, usually the bolts break off, or fans are all rotted out. So these fans have metal shrouds around them. This one won't be too bad. Overall, the project I think is going to go pretty well. I was talking to Ivan about this. We don't see a lot of twin cams. You don't see a lot of them on Subaru on YouTube. As far as the timing setup and stuff. And if I memory serves me right on these, they're kind of unique in the sense of the way you set them up. Because if I remember right, the driver's side cam sprockets, the alignment marks that go between them, they don't really seem to line up. You always photobombing us.
There's work to do around here.
I'm working. We're talking to the people.
Making sure you know that your appointment's here.
What appointment?
1 o'clock.
No, 1 o'clock. Tell them I'm doing a YouTube video, and I'll get to it when I get to it.
You want to tell them that?
No. You just tell Josh.
Oh,
Yep. So, well, like I was saying, I think the left side cams can be kind of tricky. And also, just trying to pull this off memory. If memory serves me right, these here, you have to know the distance between timing marks. There's a certain number of teeth between each timing mark. You go off from that, disregard everything else, and everything's good. I fixed a few of these for people that have come in where they've done their own timing, they've lined up the marks, put the belt on it. The car will run until it warms up, and it's no bueno at that point. We take them apart, we find the timing's usually off one tooth on the left head, and that's it. So let's have a look. I could be all totally wrong, but what the heck? Won't be our first time. Whoa! Spritzer. Got a sensitive trigger on this thing. So we'll zip these off. Jug out the way. Well, it'd probably help if you guys can see what the thunder's going on down here, huh? Don't mind me, pay much attention, I guess. Grab a wrench there. Spraying it on everything else, why not? There. Once we have all that stuff off, I think we'll zip our fans out of the way, get our belts off. Now we'll be in the home stretch. Taking Yankee timing covers. We're almost there. However, I may just do one little thing here. I was talking to Ivan the other day, and he was saying when he does Subarus, he pulls the whole stinking mess up. The whole radiator and everything. And I says, that's a good idea, Ivan. I never do that. So, in an effort to see if that is easier or not, we're going to do it that way. Because I'll always listen to somebody's advice if it sounds like it makes sense. Reach down here, get these fans unplugged. Boy, I can just barely get that one. I'm going to have to get that one from underneath. Now, on this Subaru, it makes great sense because the transmission cooler is right here in the side of the radiator. So that'd be nice and easy to get to. A lot of Subarus, it's on the bottom. So if you have to go underneath, well, you know, you have to make that decision at that point, I guess. I use a brand new screwdriver. Got a whole set of these in the mail. Some Protos. I don't know. I think a viewer sent them and decided not to disclose his name, but I got a whole big set of these flathead screwdrivers. One Phillips head, but a whole big set of flatheads. I just got to find a home for them. Running out of storage room here. Get these training lines off. We'll get the radiator hose unhooked. Got the bucket underneath, so we'll just drain it right into that. No sense in filling around with a petcock on the radiator. Being that we just put this radiator in not too long ago, it should come apart relatively easy, I would think. But I've been wrong before. Let's loosen that clamp up a little more, I guess. Come on, slide off there. Ah, we're so close. You know, if you reach down there, you're just gonna make a big old mess. Let's do it. And here we go. Now she's leaking. Shouldn't be much coolant left in it. This thing was peeing out of there pretty good when it came in. See if we can't get these training lines to crack loose and spin off there, okay? Got that one loose. Before we take and pull that off all the way, I want to pinch that hose off. Now this one we replaced, this training line here. This one might be a little bit stiffer. The new training line is usually pretty rigid. All right, we get some hose pinch pliers. Pinch these off so they're not going to be peeing all over the place here. It's a little less than what they would. There's that one. And there's that one. Alright, well, technically, if we unhook our upper hose, we should be able to pop the radiator right out of here and have lots of room. Probably be better for the video anyways. That way we can see a little better. That's off. Remember, this one goes on the right. Don't forget. Don't forget. Hey, look at that. You might be onto something there, Ivan. That gives us lots of room. Now, if you elect not to pull the whole radiator out like we did, like I say, sometimes these train cooler lines on the newer Subarus, they're on the bottom and they can be a little bit of a pisser. You know, you got to go underneath the car, and their fans are only bolted on the top. So in that case, I think sometimes it's easier to pull the fans. But in this case, he certainly was right, because you can see how the fans are held on the bottom with bolts, on the top with bolts, and you know, like I say, quite often these fan shrouds are real rusty, or these bolts are going to want to break off if they're not already. So you can see your electrical connectors that you get to, just 2 of them, unhook them, pull the whole radiator. Definitely easier in this case. Now we've got that out of the way, we do have a lot of room. Definitely better for the video. Sweet. So we're gonna crack the crack that tensioner loose there. Just crack these loose while we're right here. And the alternator. Give this forcing screw a little spritz. Same thing with the tensioner here. Give that a little spritz. Extension, 12 mil. Yeehaw. Loosen that one up a smidge more. There. Take this off. There we go. And being we're going to reuse these belts, I'm going to grab a paint marker. I'm just going to mark which way they were facing as far as the direction they were facing. I just put a little arrow, shows them facing out. That way I put them on the same way. We don't have to worry about squeaks and squeals or running them in the other direction. May or may not make a difference. It's always just been my habit. I find if I put the belt back on the way it was, I don't have issues. Well, I mean, I don't want to say I don't have any issues, but. Alright, so meow, we'll take a 22, right? 22 mil. The Astro Nano. Now this is where this impact should shine. We'll give her a little shot of turbo juice here. Can't win with the coil today. We'll see if we can bust this pulley loose. It's going the right direction yet, turkey. What? It's like nobody's business, huh? That thing amazing. So just to have that clearance, like you couldn't get a conventional impact down here. That's just too big. So let me show you a little better. What do we got? We've got about 6 inches to the face of that. From the AC condenser here to the face of the pulley is about 6 inches. This little guy is about 5 inches. Plenty of room, because 5 minus 6 is 1. That's what we have left, about 1 inch, huh? There's some math, a little science action in this video. Now we gotta get our pulley loose. Sometimes you just gotta wiggle. Hang on and wiggle it. That's what I say. There we go. We got that off. Alright, get a new magnet tray. Set this to the side. We'll grab our air ratchet here. Get a 10 mil and just go bananas. Start pulling the time covers off. We have a bunch of bolts. Pull our outer covers. There's that one. Stick our bolts. Well, they're going to use different. They're going to use the long bolts. They don't have much of a head on them, so if the head gets all, boogered up, usually can grab them with a 3/8 socket. The ones on the bottom are usually the crappy ones. little bit of a pisser. There's that one. We'll keep on rocking. Sometimes you just got to do it by feel. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's see if we can get that one and only soldier out of there. Let me grab a 3/8, see if I can take my own advice. Every tool has a hammer side. Now that, huh? 1-2 barbecue, baby. Like a glove. Move that right out of the way. I'll take our center timing cover off. It's a little sludgy. This old girl's got a couple 100K on her. So, there's that beast. Screw the crank bolt back in here. We're going to grab a 22 wood wrench or socket, ratchet or something. We're going to spin this little guy over, see if we can get our time marks lined up, make the marks on our belt, and yank it off. Oh, let's see, I think that's Mark. That's Mark. Negative. That's not the mark. We're on 180 out. There they go. Sometimes I just make up stuff as I go. Let's see here. Is that the mark? No, stupid. You're right back where you started. This one I'm on. This one I'm on's got the inner mark and the outer mark. Here I am trying to teach a lesson and I don't even know what I'm doing. There's my mark. Big dummy. I'll show you so you guys don't get tricked. This thing you'll get slid. Okay. I believe. I'll double check here. Show you guys what we got. All right, first thing first, we're going to reuse this belt because this belt, it only has like 20 to 30,000 miles on it. This is where you got to be careful. I must be mistaken about some of my other timing marks I'm thinking, or maybe it only applies to new belts. I don't know. Anyhow, we're going to disregard that. We're just going to keep going here. So there's a timing mark right here on a crankshaft. Don't use that mark. That's the wrong mark. You want to use, there's a notch on the inner portion here. So that's where you can get slit on this job here. So that's the crankshaft mark. So I'm going to take, just for the ease of sticking this thing back together, we'll use a paint marker here. Draw our mark on the crank, draw our mark on the belt because it'll make it 100 times easier to put back together. So this is the driver's side intake cam. So we've got a notch up here in the timing cover you would line up. And we're going to take and just draw our mark right across our belt. And you'll see there's already a little white mark here on the pulley. So you can kind of see where that goes. Then you've got your two marks here from intake to exhaust cam. You'll see where they line up. You got your double notches there, so we'll put a little mark on those. And the next one you have is one that I've already painted. So this is the exhaust cam on the driver's side. You got this notch, it's on the side. So it's kind of a hard mark to transfer, but we have to make sure we transfer this mark around to the belt. The tooth count between here and here is pretty critical. So if you got this tooth count right, you know, everything should line up right. But when you get a new belt, it has these marks on it. So you're gonna line up the marks with the notches in the pulley as opposed to these marks here. And I've seen it on some brand new belts. I don't know if they slightly stretch or what the story is, but I recall seeing these where these are like one notch off. And you know, essentially they're dead on the money, but this belt, like I said, is about 30K on it. And we can see they line up quite well. Over on the passenger side, you're gonna do the same thing. You know, I've got the mark on top. You'll see it lines up with the notch in the timing cover, just like it does on the driver's side. You got the little mark there on the pulley. You got the two marks, pulley to pulley, and then you've got the other mark to the timing belt. Just got to get some slack in our system here. So we'll pull this idler off. Shouldn't be any washers behind it. Nope. Set that to the side. We should be able to work this off now. The only thing I've got to mark is, you see our cam up on this side cut loose. That's under a pretty heavy amount of spring tension. But the good news is you can't hit a piston on one of these because the pistons are not top dead center. And that's handy. Pistons are all in the middle. Draw my mark. Those are the marks for my driver's side cam. Come over, we've got our crank. Passenger side cam. Got our marks. I could transfer a mark to the front of the belt, but that was it. So there. Got our mark. We've signified our right side out. You can do right side out or rotation, whatever arrow mark suits you well. Probably if you look over on this belt, it's a Napa belt, you can see some evidence. I don't know if you guys see it on camera or not, but evidence of an OEM mark. So there's one mark there, there's another mark there. Sometimes you can't find them all. Yeah, there's another mark. So yeah, if you can find them and reuse your original marks, fabulous. But if not, then you know, make your own if you're reusing it. Loosen up our tensioner and our little cog sprocket down there. Sometimes these have washers behind them. This one did not. It just had the bushing there for the tensioner. Now we need to remove the tensioner hydraulic assembly. A little too tight for that guy. We want to push that back in, get our grenade pin put back in it. Now we need to get a pin for our tensioner. So I'll come over to my junk drawer. Every time I do a timing belt job, I throw the pin in here. There's some. Are they all the same damn one? That one's too big. How many of these things I got? All the same. This has got like a microscopic hole through it. Fits through the body, just not through the... What's this one? I think I work on a lot of Subarus. I've done a couple timing belts recently. it seems like I have one of these little guys. Ooh, what's this? Here's some. Bam, look at that. We gotta use a little mini one. What's up, Mrs. O?
I didn't know which tires they put on the truck.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look. We're doing a little mini toolbox to look at right now.
Is that like a junk drawer of tools?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a typical.
It's not, it's miscellaneous. Well, we were looking for, I got some timing belt pins. Because these, you save them because you're like, oh, I'm going to need it. There's more over here. They're everywhere.
Do you have a drill bit that will drill through my tile floor?
I don't have anything that I can help you.
What?
Maybe. So, I saved them. Those don't work, but this little guy does. So maybe this is I got more timing pins somewhere. We'll use this one. This looks like it, that'll fit in there. And is it long enough? Yep, that'll work. Mrs. O's been interrupting the YouTube videos a lot today.
It's work.
Twerk. Oh,
It's work to be done.
that's what I'm doing.
Well, this work needs to be done right now.
Oh, so isn't this?
Are
Glad
you-
I got it, huh?
Is it these ones?
Nope. What's that?
The customer was complaining about an exhaust run of tools.
That truck that Josh is working on? Yep, we already fixed it. Way ahead of you, Mrs. O.
Is it these tires?
Let me see. Nope, those are BFGs. So we're gonna push the tensioner in slowly.
Road, these ones?
Let's see. Road Adventure AT.
That's what yours
Yep,
is?
10 plies. Yep, those are it. You got them. Wow, good price, huh?
Yeah.
We got good prices on tires here. Self-made auto repair. Upstate New York. Oh. So we're gonna push our tensioner in just really, really slow. You just do it in a vise. If it's leaking oil out the front and stuff like that, you're gonna want to replace it. This one, however, is not leaking. I probably replaced it when I did the first timing belt, or back when I did the head gaskets. I'm sure. We'll just push in slow, we'll put our pin in, get it locked. Make sure you put the pin in the right direction. You don't want to have it in on the back side. If you don't have a pin, you can use a Allen wrench, like a 1.5 or 2 millimeter, something like that. Put that down where we can get a hold of it with a pair of pliers because they come out pretty heavy. And there you have it. Well, what we're gonna do, technically, in theory, we're gonna give this baby one of the most classic moves you can give a car, the classic reach around. We're gonna undo the thermostat. Just reach right up underneath. Be able to feel those. Your lower hose is going to be hooked to it still. Let I hit the bucket. And we can start zipping out some of the bolts. Take the bolts out. Look at them movies. Yeah, we got 2, 4, 6 total. And we probably should have done this first, but we're going to take and pull our bypass hose here. Get the clamp off that. Wiggle that back a little bit. Then we get the hose wiggled loose there. We got that off. And I think I think I need a hammer. You always need a hammer. Is that loose? Is that already? Give her the old Tonkaroo. And out she comes. And that's it. There's your classic Subaru water pump. Now this portion is a smidge hard to record because I need to be right up in where you need to be to get the best angle, but we're just going to go through, get this gasket all scraped off. You don't want to go up in here and just go bananas with a cookie wheel because this is all aluminum. So you got to be kind of careful. Gentle like a little lamb. We'll get all the old gasket material off. Right now we've got that all cleaned up. We've got our brand new pump here, about an Asian pump. These are great pumps. They're a little more on the expensive side, but they are Japanese instead of a Chinese pump. So these are really nice. They come OEM on, I think, Toyotas. They may come OEM on this, some Hondas. Good company. I like their gaskets. They use the metal gaskets. Got our thermostat. Thermostat goes in the bottom of the water pump, which you've probably seen. Get a good thermostat, get one with a jiggle pin in it. That'll help you, particularly on a Subaru where it can be kind of a pisser to bleed these things out. But at this point, I need to stop because I only got about 2.5 hours left of my day. Got a couple cars I got to finish. So I'm gonna walk away from this, take care of some other stuff, and we'll come back and get this done.